One morning as I rambled down by the seashore. I have many well-known ballad singers and musicians in my family. And so for me, this is about keeping my family's tradition alive, and it's something that I'll continue to do until I literally cannot sing anymore, until I have no voice left in my body. It sounded so lonesome. I lost my mom in 2021, and my dad passed away when I was 2 years old. And so, just this is like the last thing that I have left of them, and my family, because I don't have any grandparents or most of my aunts and uncles. I have one aunt living still. I didn't inherit any land or a house or any money or anything like that. This is my heritage. This is my inheritance.
Ethic.
Well, people want stories that they can connect to. That's all about who you learned it from and where you learned it.
In these areas, it was so isolated. You had to make everything. If you wanted something, you had to make it. So if you wanted to be entertained, you had to make your own entertainment.
These old songs have been passed down in our family for 8, 9 generations now. And so for me, this is about keeping my family's tradition alive. It's not just about the songs, it's about the history.
In this culture, this Madison County sort of music culture, you can't buy a guy. That is, to me, very touching.
Hey, there's all kinds of young people. They're playing the greatest hits from the 1700s. It's really a magical thing. And you should be proud of it. And let's go out here and wear it. And let's own it. And let's make the world see it. My name is Ed Heron, Herron. My mother was Josepha Bell Lunsford. That's Bascom Lamar Lunsford's youngest child. This is the 56th annual Bascom Lamar Lunsford Music Festival. My granddaddy, he was just a ball of fire. He really accomplished a lot in his life. But granddaddy came along right at that magical point of time, right before roads and right before radios. And that's when he learned this music. He learned it from his mother, he learned it from his grandmother. The music is all nice and it's catchy, but he saw the effect that it had on his fellow mountaineers. And then he saw it change. The roads are coming, the radio's coming. All of a sudden, people wanted to hide this traditional music. It was backwards. The new people they met in town made fun of it. It was getting pushed away. He knew the only way to save it was to let the natives know how powerful this music was. Granddaddy saw that. He saw it coming.
To the Bascom's house.
Good
to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you for my...
So I'm David Hoffman. I'm a documentary filmmaker all my life.
I'm so glad y'all could come, and I'm welcome. Y'all come on in. Come on in.
Oh, this is going to be a shock.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Come on in. I've got snacks set up, and I can make everybody a cup of tea. I have all kinds of teas available.
I might have a snack or two, but, I can remember walking and shooting in these directions.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember
amazing?
I can remember that. That's a long time. So many people on YouTube wanted me to come back.
How many years ago was that?
58 years ago.
You're about to see a complete film that I made in 1965. The film made it to the cover of TV Guide, and it showed people a part of American life most people had never seen. In fact, the Library of Congress purchased this from me, and on my death, it goes to the library. Why? Not just because of the incredible music and the incredible characters, but because of the storytelling and the speech. I've been asked by many subscribers, hey, go back and do it again. Find out what happened, because I'll tell you, the culture is still alive and booming. In any case, thank you for this, for watching it, for giving me the time to share this with you. I've enjoyed it. Hope you do. Take care.
From May 15th to June 10th, 1965, Bascom Lunsford and his wife guided us through the Blue Ridge and Great Smoky Mountains, to visit their friends and neighbors.
Can you imagine dancing on this floor the way they did? What a scene to have filmed in this room. I used to pull up to this house in the morning. Bascom had something to eat, which I always ate out of politeness. And he'd get in the car and we'd go. Bascom was 83, a collector, a singer, a dancer. And I get the chance to go from New York City, where I lived, down here, crew of 3, to shoot a documentary film. I never saw a culture like this culture. The land, the arts, the music, the dance, the speech, the poetry of life. Bascom thought Madison County was the richest, he says, was the richest pocket of culture in America. The value of this cultural history, experienced by young people, carried on in the midst of Madison County, means something.
There's still characters here, not like Bascom level characters, but people who are interesting.
It's nice to have local history like that.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's got it. Hardly anybody's got it. Mm-hmm. Local history, you know, it's not national, it's you people.
All right, Billy Nologram?
Yes, sir.
I was asked recently about why it's important to preserve this culture, and I kind of rattled on and said a bunch of stuff that was probably all the right stuff to say, and then I got to thinking about it later, and I was like, I don't know that I really expressed why it's important for me to do that. And then for me, it's because it's fun. You connect musically with people in ways that you can't in any other way. And I think it's about playing with people. That's something the pandemic taught me. It's about a tune, but when somebody decides to teach you something, that's an investment they've made in you. There's a power and a connection to that that says, A, this thing matters enough for me to have learned it, and then it matters on another level for me to give it to you, and then you matter on another level for me to trust you with it.
So the ballads had sort of started to die out a little bit, and there were only a select few of us that continued carrying on the ballad singing tradition.
All right, Daddy, your time has finally come. I know he's got one picked here that he learned from Elisha Shelton, who was our neighbor down the road. And Elisha is one of the people that sang for Cecil Sharp back in 1916 when he came through.
He made the best corn liquor.
Don't you remember on last Friday night what that you told me sitting by my side?
We've just been hearing these songs since we were little kids, and we sort of just grew up hearing them. Definitely, this is a family thing for sure. Now it's sort of important to pass these songs on to people who aren't in your family so that they really don't die out. Like, how do I keep this going and somehow modernize it or make it exciting for people who've never heard stuff like this before?
My dear.
You know, my cousin Melanie and I did a thing during COVID called Quarantine Happy Hour on Facebook. All right, young Emily, I learned this from Sheila K. Adams, who learned it from Granny Dale, and it's the very first ballad that I learned, so. Young Emily in her chambers, she had an awful dream. We had people all over the world watching us. We had some people in Australia, people in California. I mean, and they were, you know, talking to us on social media while we were performing and singing these songs. And I really think that COVID sort of like brought this resurgence for the ballads to come, like they're coming back, you know. And so once a month, myself and my cousin Sheila K. Adams host a ballad swap at the Old Marshall Jail Hotel.
Thank God there's a song that's singing in my soul's got freedom to hear Jerusalem more.
The owner of the jail, Josh Kopus, was really excited about that, and I pitched the idea of the ballad swap being at the jail, and he was like, bring it on, you know.
I wanted to create a space that was like
relevant to the contemporary world, first and foremost. And then within that, I'm like, there's an opportunity for historic storytelling here. I walked into that building and saw the potential on the first day. And it's a collaboration between, you know, me as a representation of the space and then the singers. And it's amazing. And it's important that it's like it honors the past, but it's really about the future. I love how like relevant it is. Like it's not, these are not ancient characters. We're living in it still. And you know, the history is here. And if we see that and acknowledge that, like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time. So
only, oh God, I'm one.
Our mountaineers, they were independent and self-reliant, but they also liked to be together. It weren't like they were anti-social.
Here we go. I'll go left.
Granddaddy, he knew the power that it had on the fabric of society around here.
Halfway back. Circle full.
It's about people. It's about somebody loving you and spending time with you. Because we've got each other's back in music. Like we know we can trust one another.
If you're feeling bad, play one of these songs. You'll feel better. If you're having fights with your neighbor, go have a square dance. You can't keep fighting. It's too much fun. It's too good.